So here we are at the allotment. This is the water butt that we're taking the water from. Got a longer pipe and using the gravity, as I said, and then a grey pipe which goes all the way up to the end where there's another water butt. Now, obviously I tested it before I went live on air. I don't look like a fool again. It was up to here at the start, and I've pumped about 6 inches and learned quite a few things about the machine. This hose is too long. It's inherently unstable. It's fallen over twice, so we need to work on that. The slack that we had in this chain is apparently unacceptable. It's jumped off several times, and now it's jumped up onto the next gear up, and it does work on that gear, but obviously we're not going to get as much power out of it as if we do on the smaller cog, so need to work about tightening up that. It once jumped off this as well, because we haven't got the other end secured very well. There's a bit of play in the bracket, etc., so we do need to think about fixing the other end. Another one to ponder, but I think that's it. It is filling up the water butt at the other end. That's cool. I mean, I could show you it working if you like, but you know, I could show you a footage of the water level going down slowly, or me cranking this to prove it. Do you want proof? Alright, I'll give it a go. One-handed this time. Obviously, we want to be pedalling it with our feet, not our hands. But I don't know, pick a reference point on the bucket. See if you can see it going down. Oh yeah, it definitely is. Happy days. So yeah, several things to work on. Let's get it back in the workshop and have another look. Gripping viewing there. Did you see the level of that water go down? Wow. Anyway, on to the exciting stuff. So first off, I figure let's do stability, because then that'll make it easier to work on all the other bits. At the moment we were resting on the saddle upside down and just this part of the headstock. So I was thinking maybe flip the handlebars round so we could have 3 points of contact on the ground. That would be a good start. And on the saddle, I'm going to take off the saddle but keep the post and weld on this piece of bar. It's from an old kitchen drawer divider system. Got a load of them left over, quite handy, made of steel. So I'll weld that on there, and that should be a good platform, but keep the post for adjustability. Love a bit of adjustability. Same on the handlebar stem. Once we've done that, we can get it the other way up, nice and stable, and work out what's next. How about that? Cleaned up both the bits, spot welded them back in. How about that? Nice and stable. Flip the handlebars over, so now we've got 3 points of contact instead of just the one. Happy with that. Right, on to the next job, which is I think I'm going to realign this chain, see if I can get it on the smallest cog, and find out if we can sit in a decent position or not. So I have managed to get a bit of the play out of that chain. I've taken out as much as I can by sliding it right down into the slot there, tightened it up, and this one seems cool. Obviously, because we're only held on by the monkey bracket, it's got a tendency to, the chain's got a tendency to pull this way, so now I'm thinking instead of having the pump supported underneath, I actually want to support it this way, which will help stop that bend. And I'm thinking about just not attaching it, but just having something solid. So solid means metal, and I've got another one of these, drilled a couple of holes in it, and I'm going to screw that onto there. Some handy bracket holes already in the Chloe bike, so I'm going to bolt that on and then work out what the next stage is. Cool. Bolts on there, this piece attached. Now, with the hose on, that kind of stops the pump spinning, which is quite cool, just hitting on there. I still want to give this a bit of tension, so of the piece I cut off, and I've cut a slot in it, and I'm thinking onto there, onto the spindle, weld that here and try and hold that there. Now obviously that will be steel on steel, and ideally I'd have a bearing in there, but I've already welded this to this, so can't get a bearing in. So now I'm thinking a load of grease. Worth a go, don't you think? This is bolted, so I could take the whole thing off if it turns out not to work, or that's a bit grindy. But I'm hoping that's just gonna find its level, find out where it wants to be. Lots of grease. We'll give it a go. So all lined up. Negative terminals on. Obviously I've cleaned up the paint off of the grey metal. Let's have a go at welding it. PPE on. Here we go. Looks pretty good. Try and get one in the back as well. That didn't go so well. Trouble with thin metal is, if you hold it on for too long, then you end up burning through the metal. In fact, let me show you. Let's see if we can get an angle on this. See that? No, of course you can't. There, look. Big hole. Let me clean it up. On the brush. Try that again. You see that? It's just burned through. But there was a decent weld on there, and it looks like there's 3 decent welds on there. This particularly tricky camera wise. 3 decent welds on there. Should we turn the thing? Hello. Hello. Oh, that looked pretty good. But what I will do is ignore the warning to never run dry, obviously, and try it with this on. Ready? Oh, I'm pretty happy with that. You see a nice wiggle we've got on the pump there. That's why I want to try and leave that free. Secure this, secure the chain, the sprocket, let the pump wiggle. You know, a little bit of wiggle is not going to hurt anyone. It's not going to affect the water going in. Well, I think this calls for another test. And test I have. Another 6 to 8 inches pumped. Learnt a few more things. You know, time recumbent next to the machine. A couple more things we need to work out. At the moment I'm holding these steady to keep it steady, and that's uncomfortable and not acceptable. So we need to work on that. Pump took a bit of priming, so we still need to sort out what the hose does. But pretty cool. Back to the workshop, I reckon.